All right. Hello. At least I hope hello. Carl has decided that as soon as I go live, he's going to make his presence known and he's going to come here and sit right in front of the camera. That's how this works now. I am in Carl's space and that's just how it is. So, how's everybody doing? It's true. It's just me again tonight. Everything's fine. Don't worry. I know how everybody loves Lisa. Thank you, Melissa Jeswald and Zen Ginger. I know everybody wants to know, wants to see, wants to talk to Lisa. And, well, it's just not going to be able to be today. She is doing wonderfully. She's completely back to work. She's completely back to herself. She's been doing yard work. She's been, well, there's a difference between landscaping and yard work. She's been doing work in the garden. That's probably a better way of saying it, which is still hard work, and it is what it is. So if you're digging up and planting plants and all that kind of stuff, you know you're feeling pretty daggone good. So she's doing great. However, just, you know, I don't know, just not ready to stream. You know, you got to be in the right mindset to be on a live stream like this in front of 74 to 80,000 people. You know, it just takes an adjustment, and she's not ready to do that yet. But anyway, will she be back next week? Here's the thing. I don't even know if I'm going to be here next week. So the story goes like this. I have been asked to do a talk at an open house that one of my distributors is doing. It's here in North Carolina, and that is next Thursday. And it's 3.5 hours away. I do my talk, I think, at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I could do my talk, enjoy the open house, because it's going to be almost like a little trade show. All of the manufacturers will be there. Well, all of the ones that he carries at his distributorship. Distributorship? Is that the right way of saying it? I don't know, but it sounded good. So there'll be a lot of people there to talk to. Jay Wilson will be there. I'm excited to see Jay. I'll be able to do my talk. Jay does his talk actually right after me. I'll be able to mingle around, enjoy myself, and then leave and make it home in time to do the stream. Or something that Lisa suggested, which I think would be a lot of fun. I think she's trying to have a party or something next Thursday night and didn't want me to come home. She suggested I'm going to be there with all these manufacturers. Why not do the live stream, do it from there, and have them come in? Have the representative from Fritz come in, the rep from CChem, CJ. I believe more than one rep from CJ is going to be there. So, of course, if I did this, of course, Jay Wilson would make an appearance, because I'd be doing the wrong thing if I didn't have him make an appearance. But I think his boss, whose name is Steve Berlin, I think he will be there too. Steve Berlin is a guy that looks like he's only 30 years old, but he's been in this industry for like 35 years. And he knows everybody in this industry. If I'm ever, which I've never been, but I know if I'm ever in an aquarium industry pickle, like some manufacturers trying to screw me over or something like that, or what, I know all I got to do, pick up my phone, call Steve Berlin, be like, Steve, hey, you're never going to believe what these people are doing to me. And he'd be like, don't worry about it. I got you taken care of. He knows everybody, and he knows exactly, you know, who to call in whatever situation. A very, very good ally to have. And he's also a good friend. So hopefully I could get him on. And then Carl, excuse me. And then I think what would be a lot of fun, again, Lisa's suggestion, is to actually get my distributor on the live stream as well. The owner of the place, the one that's putting on this whole shindig that I'll be at next weekend, or next week, excuse me, not next weekend. His name's Chris. Also has become a friend of mine. It might be a really good thing for people who maybe don't know how all the behind the scenes stuff works before product even gets to retail stores. He'd be a great resource for that. So listen, what I'm trying to tell you is there's going to be a lot of really good information from a lot of really good people there. And if I can work it out, I might stay there for a second night and do the live stream from Kernersville, North Carolina. We'll have to see. The distributor's name, by the way, is Carolina Aquatics. He's only open, or he's only, you can only buy from him if you're a retailer. So don't think that's going to be the great place that you can go to get good deals. But that's where I'm going. He does this every year. I'm really excited because I've never been to one. What he does is gets all the manufacturers together and they set up booths like it's a trade show. And then everybody offers crazy deals for that show only. So he has a lot, his business is probably, it's probably like most, it's 50-50 freshwater, saltwater. So when it comes to saltwater, he's got all the brands. I don't know. I don't even know a lot of saltwater brands, but from a freshwater standpoint, he carries, well, pretty much everything we do. Seachem, Fritz, Ciche, Aquatop, Hikari, and other things too. That's what we buy from him. It doesn't carry Northfin because that's not something that he carries, but your mother-in-law used to live in Kernersville. Nice. Yeah, that's about 3.5 hours from me. So I'm actually going there Wednesday night and staying there because I'm not one of those people that would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive there to immediately do a talk in front of everybody. No, not going to do that. So I'm going to go the night before. He told me I can do that. He's, covering the hotel and all that for me. And and the only reason he's doing that is because I'm doing a talk. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun day. And Friday, the event goes on Thursday and Friday. He would never do it on the weekend because retail stores are who this is for. And those are going to be the busiest days for retail stores. So he does it during the week. And Friday is going to be a lot of other really cool events going on that day at that deal. So it's going to be cool. I'm excited about it. Lisa, unfortunately, is not going to be going with me because, well, she's fine. Again, I saw somebody, Naomi asked about her. She's doing great. She's doing amazing. Dare I say completely back to normal, just not ready to stream yet. So hopefully she'll be, if I come back home to stream next week, hopefully she'll be with me. Otherwise, you might have to wait yet another week for her. But I'm going to try to get her in here. I promise. I'm sure she'll show up in the chat. But anyway, we'll see what happens. If I do my stream from there, it's not going to be a fancy thing. It's probably going to be a little system that I slap together really fast. And, the audio probably won't be great and the video won't be great, but it'll work. It'll be fun. And I'll be able to have reps from all your favorite brands on there. Except for the smaller, well, I shouldn't say smaller brands. I was going to say small brands like Northfin and Extreme. Those are not small brands, but they don't work through distributors. Those two companies deal direct. So when Lisa and I order Extreme, we get it directly from Extreme. Same thing with Northfin. Same thing with Fluval, as a matter of fact. But So, you know, they won't be there, but again, Fritz, Seachem, Aquatop, Ciche, a bunch of saltwater brands. I don't know if somebody from Hikari is going to be there. I don't know. It's going to be fun. That's all I've got to say. Who's your favorite NASCAR driver? I haven't watched NASCAR in a really long time. But my guy was, well, anybody that drove for Joe Gibbs Racing is who I would root for. But my number one guy for quite some time was Denny Hamlin. Virginia boy, doesn't drive a beer car, which none of the Joe Gibbs drivers do. And he was really good. And I'm sure he still is, but I haven't watched in a very long time, so I wouldn't know. Watching your Oscars redecorate over your left shoulder, building a nice pile of substrate like in bonus. Yeah, you want to know why they did that? Or why they're doing that? Well, first of all, that's what Oscars do. And no, it probably doesn't have anything to do with it. I was going to say I turned the circulation pump, which you can't even really see, but there's a circulation pump right behind these guys. And I turned that off just now. And I honestly don't even know why. I got to go put that back on. But I don't think that has anything to do with why they're doing that either. They're just doing it because that's what Oscars do. Welcome to the world of Oscars. Sadly, I want Northfin food. I need to get it online. If I want Northfin. Well, I know, Rev Kuhn, I know exactly where you can get it. You can get it from us. We sell all of Northfin's line, except for the saltwater stuff. So yeah, don't be sad. Listen, that's why our website is there. I have never told you, not you, Rev Kuhn, but anybody, I've never said anything different than go to your local fish store first. If they don't have it, come to me. And so, if you can't get, excuse me, if you can't get Northfin from your store, you can order it from me. That's what we're for. That's what we're here for. There's Lisa. She's in the chat. Y'all should start picking on her and be like, hey, why aren't you here? Why are you making John do this by himself? We don't like hanging out with John for an entire hour or 2 hours. We need to see your beautiful face. She will be back, though, I promise. Again, I don't know if it's going to be next week. She's trying to convince me not to be here next week. So it'll probably be 2 weeks from today. 10 days cigarette-free, off topic, I know, but proud of it. Well, you daggone should be, hip-hop hillbilly. I'm going to tell you something right now. The most difficult thing in the world to do is quit anything that has to do with nicotine. So good on you, my friend. I'm proud of you because I've been addicted to nicotine for a really, really, really long time. My 7-year-old says hi. His name is Daniel. Well, hello, Daniel. Last week, we had an interaction with a channel member that the 6-year-old daughter was watching with him. And I said hi to her, and she got a kick out of that. So now we're back at it again. That's fun. I think it's awesome if young people are watching. They're probably not watching by choice. They're probably watching because it's just on. I know that was the case for Sturm, I believe was the name. And he said that his daughter was speaking in French. And I assumed, well, that must mean you're coming to us from Europe, completely forgetting that there are people on this same continent that I live in, that speak French, which would be the French Canadians. So there I went and made myself look dumb. Did anyone see the reel I posted on Instagram today? You definitely should watch it. It is adorable, and I'm looking over there right now. I do not see Lisa. Will I get in trouble if I say who we named that after? I don't think I will. Listen, I don't care. We named that little fish, Tyrion, because of course we did. What else would we name that fish? I didn't even know that fish existed until she did that reel today. When she did that, I was in the middle of cutting the grass, and it's been very dry here lately, so it was not an enjoyable experience cutting the grass. And so I didn't get to watch it until I was done. Question, did you know that when I go to your website, about half the time there's a pop-up of a fake scamming iPhone? You know what, Big Junior? I've had people say that. I wish I knew what to do about it. It's not something that happens to everybody. And it's really, really frustrating. One of the most frustrating things in my life right now is the amount of scam that's trying to happen to everybody. It's insane. Do you even know how many, and I'm not just talking to you, Big Junior, I'm talking to everybody. Do you know how many texts I get a day that are, here's your sign-in code for Facebook. Don't share it with anybody. I'm telling you, I get it 10 times a day. Here it is right here. Yesterday at 9:01 a.m., then the day before, 11:51 p.m., 7:30 p.m., 10:02 p.m. the day before. Okay, maybe it hasn't been 15 times a day the last couple days, but it seems like 15 times a day. It's insane how many scams there are out there. But listen, if you do get something like that when you go on our website, please understand that has nothing to do with us. That is not something that we put there. And I would never be trying to sell you iPhones or whatever it is that they're trying to do. That's just insanity. The other thing that drives me crazy is the texts. I get them. I'm sure you all do too. From a number I don't recognize, and it's, hey, how you been? I don't even need to say anything any further. If you've gotten those texts, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, are we still meeting tomorrow night? Hey, did you get that package I sent you? And it's all scammers. They're just trying to get you to respond and trying to get you to engage in conversation. And it drives me bananas. Still getting nicotine from a vape, but slowly cutting it down. I did the exact same thing, except it was to quit dipping. And then when the vaping industry fell apart, I went to the pouches, and that's what I'm still doing to this day. Sucks. Newish to the hobby. Looking to get my first aquarium in about a decade. Always had 20 to 30 gallons before. I have room money for either a 55 or a 75. Which should I buy? All right, Kevin. The answer is, and always will be, and will never change, hence why I said it will always be, bigger is always better. Insert Michael Scott here. Bigger is always better. So 75, that's the answer. Bigger tanks are easier to take care of. You can do more with them. Yeah, it's only 20 more gallons, but it's a different world. Get the 75. You will not regret it. And welcome back. This is a hobby that never quite leaves you. It's kind of like alcoholism. I've never been an alcoholic, but if you're someone that was an alcoholic, you still call yourself an alcoholic, because once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. Same thing with fish keeping. Once you're in it, you never get out. How feasible is it to keep a tank with only OB peacocks? Thanks. Well, I'll show you. Not today, not right now. But that's what I'm getting ready to do. It is completely feasible. And I think well, let me rephrase that. I'm not getting ready to do it with only OB peacocks, but I'm getting ready to do it with all peacocks. And it's no different. Keeping OBs is no different than keeping regular peacocks. It absolutely is doable. I've done it many, many times. I'm getting ready to do it again. I'm sitting here looking at it, 4 OBs, possibly 5 OBs. So they'll be part of it. If you're not aware what I'm getting ready to do, and I've been getting ready to do it for months, I'm converting my saltwater tank to freshwater, converting a 75 gallon that I have over there to saltwater, basically downsizing my saltwater. And then I'm going to turn that 240 into an all hap tank. And then the 240 that I currently have that has peacocks and haps will then have nothing but peacocks. So I will have, I'm pointing to them as if you can see them, I'll have an all Mbuna tank, an all peacock tank, and an all hap tank. I'm really excited about that. So there you go. Any tips on keeping cats and fish? Yeah, make sure you have good lids. This is the number one recommendation. You have to think about it like this. Everybody would say you got to keep lids on it to save the fish. But I would add to that. Let me tell you a little thing about me. I'm a weirdo. I tend to worry about the littlest things. If you are a true fan of this channel, you know that a couple of years ago, I set up behind my 75 gallon tanks and 125s, I set up 3 55 gallon drums for RO water. I have a system in there. The RO system is on float valves. So when the drums are full, it cuts off. I've had it before where I've taken a bucket and taken 5 gallons of water out of one of those drums to put into, it's always my saltwater tank. And I'm getting ready to downsize that down to just 1 55 gallon drum because all I'm going to have is a 75 gallon tank. I don't need that much. But anyway, and I don't need RO water for anything else in this fish house. I have done that before, taken a bucket of water out and then left. And then before bed, realize, oh crap, I forgot to put the lid back on that drum. And my fear is that I would come out here and Carl would be floating in that. I mean, he's fat. If he falls in the water, cats are not dumb. They're actually super smart. He could pull himself out of the water, but he's fat and he's going to be wet and the wet hair is heavy. It just freaked me out. Like he'd be trying to get out and he couldn't get out and I would have a dead Carl in my drum. So I would say, and I know it's kind of overkill, but I would say keeping the lids on is equally as to ensure the safety of the cats too. But mostly the fish. Will be a new kitten just off teat feeding. Okay, then yeah. Lids are for both. But absolutely critical to have the lids on there. Because you will not stop a cat from getting up onto your tank. You're just good luck trying because you ain't going to work. Why in the world is Lisa super chatting? Let me get to the Kevin Ullery. Sorry. I ate dinner like right before we started here. I'm out fishing at a local spot. Weather finally warmed up. Cal says hi. Well, hello to Cal. Carl gets up here and he likes to chew on wires. And that's going to make him... I'll come in here and have an electrocuted Carl. He's so bad. Yes, say hi to Cal for me. The best name for a cat that's ever been made, ever. And has a movie coming out in 3 months now. Finsanity gifted 5 channel memberships. Thank you so much for that, Joe. Leo's Aquariums and Reptiles. I can't see your message because the screen is down. Will you guys sell the new CJ canister filter or the whales? What's your favorite hap? Leo is never short on the questions, is he? I want so badly to carry those CJ Mega Filtras. I hope to get to see one next week. I don't know. I don't know if I will. At that event at my distributor, it would be really cool if Jay or Steve brought one along. There's also a new rep at CJ that I have not met yet. Maybe they'll bring him along too. That'd be cool. Like to meet him. But I don't know, Leo. The reason why we don't carry canisters right now, we have in the past, but we lose money every single time we sell one because of shipping. And I'm not trying to complain. I'm just saying it is what it is. There's not as much room as far as profit goes as you might think in canister filters. So by the time it's automatically qualifies for free shipping. So we pay for shipping, which is part of the deal. And, you know, a lot of times it just eats up all of the profit that we have in there. I don't know what the numbers are going to look like for the new CJ canister. I know that the one that they're going to have, that is, I believe, what they're going to call their SDC, which would be the one that you can hook up to the control app and get all of your data from the filter on an app. And I think it'll tell you temperature and all of that kind of stuff. It's going to be very, very cool. That one's going to be pretty big ticket item. And so if it's a lot for you, it's a lot for us to buy too. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to carry them, but I'd like to, because everything I've seen, they're going to be awesome. They're going to be the first filter that's come out that really is a competitor for the FX series, but maybe not. I don't even know if that's what they're after. They might just be after the 7 series from Fluval. Like that's what they're trying to compete with. I don't know. I don't even know if it makes sense to try to compete with the FX series, because Fluval's got a pretty good stronghold on that. But I don't know. I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on one of those though, because I like filters. It's my favorite thing. If you're wondering why it looks like I'm doing weird things here, Carl's right here. He's laying directly in front of me. So I'm petting him. I'm not doing anything weird. Roots and Whisker. Oh, wait. Leo asked me what my favorite hap is. It's 10 times out of 10, 365 times a year, 24/7. It always will be the Champsochromis coryleus, but I am not a smart person. I don't deal with scientific names. The trout cichlid. That's the holy grail. A fully colored up, all blue male trout cichlid. And if you recall, not just Leo, but if everybody recalls, we recently went down to Ron's Cichlids in South Carolina. And Hunter Demers, who is Ron's son, who runs the place, he promised me, hey, whenever you want a male trout, you just let me know. I got you. Not like I'm going to give you one for free. He didn't say anything like that. I wouldn't expect that. But it was, I got you, because I'm not trying to call anybody out particularly, but I've gotten a lot of trout cichlids from a lot of companies. I think I've had like 5 of them, and they were all sold to me as males, and they all turned out to be females. So I've been very apprehensive to buy one since then, since the 5th one. So, but this new hap tank that I'm going to have, 240 gallons, yeah, I'm going to be hitting up Hunter Demers from Ron Cichlids, and I'm going to say, hey, remember you promised you could pick me out a male. And here's the thing. Hunter at Ron Cichlids is like a savant. He really is. He had a tank with trouts in it that are 4 inches. Wait a minute, that's 9 inches, right? And I throw that in because it's fun, and if little kids don't get it, so it's funny. See what I'm saying? This is my sense of humor. But he looked in that tank, and it was way up, and he said, look in there and tell me which ones are males. And I'm like, they all look exactly the same to me. And he's like, nope, that's a male, that's a male, that's a male, that's a male. He could pick them out, which I can do that for a lot of fish, for a lot of African cichlids. Because there's usually a little something. But trout cichlids are known to be late bloomers. Like they're going to be 8 inches long before they color up. So you really do have to know what you're talking about when you buy one, because if you get a female, still a cool fish, but nothing like the males. But that's my favorite hap. Roots and Whiskers, thank you, Jerry Goebel and Ann, Elizabeth Dyer, and Vincent Dunn for donating food and kitty litter to the kitties. The kitties and I appreciate you. Yeah, there has been some Amazon boxes out there a lot lately. Even though Lisa has been absent because of her situation, the people still love the cats, and they have been... the support's been unbelievable. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing. Speaking of amazing things, remember a minute ago when we were talking about Northfin? Well, he's here. I'm assuming that would be Darius from Northfin is with us and donated 10 channel memberships. How about that? And then somebody said, Carl, you're going to get in trouble. Stop it. Stop it. Sit right here so everybody can see you, and then you won't get in trouble. Somebody said something about Northfin. Okay, I guess I didn't. I don't know where it is. Somebody said something about Northfin being here. Yeah, listen, not only is Northfin's YouTube account in here, y'all. I'm not trying to name drop or act like I'm a big timer or anything, but that's the owner of Northfin that's in here. His name's Darius. Say hi to him. He's an amazing human being. And I don't say that for any reason other than because it was true. Because it was and still is true. He's an amazing guy, has an amazing product, and how many owners of major manufacturers show up in people's chats on YouTube? I don't know of any. I've seen Darius on a video you did about Northfin Foods. Yeah, that was a really cool episode that Jason and I did of the Tank Talk podcast. Darius came on there and explained the whole philosophy behind Northfin Foods and why he created it. And, you know, the fact that y'all might not know this about Northfin. And I got to tell you, I don't know how much longer it's going to be this way because their company is growing so fast. But when you don't make Northfin. It's not like that. What is that brand? What is it? It's escaping me. The fish food that you order and then you have to make it. Like, who wants to do that? Anyway, you don't have to make anything. But when you order Northfin, whether you order from us or anybody, the owner of the company is the person who made that food. Again, that's like going to the Gordon Ramsay restaurant in New York or wherever. He's got them all over. And Gordon Ramsay is actually there and makes your steak for you. Like, it's the equivalent. Darius from Northfin is just as big time as Gordon Ramsay. Come on. Repashy, that's it. Yeah, I don't know anything about Repashy. I've heard it's great. So I don't have anything negative to say about it other than the fact that who wants to make their food? That's insane. That's like going to a restaurant and then they say, okay, go on back and make your dinner. No, thanks. But anyway, I think that's really, really cool. That's always been something that has been a huge standout to me about Northfin. And again, I don't know how long that's going to continue on, but what I do know is he will always be the quality control person. Like, even if he's not, because the company grows so much and he has to bring in people to work the extruder and do that whole thing, he's still going to oversee everything and nothing is going to get past him that's not supposed to. So yeah, it's just like my favorite company in the world. And that's just me telling you the truth. Or self-checkout. Yeah. So my thing with self-checkout is I love it, but I also hate it. And I hate it because I just feel like I'm being watched. And I am being watched. And so are you if you do self-checkout. And I'm like hesitant to like put my hand in my pocket or like do anything because I'm like, they're going to think I'm stealing something. I don't know. That's weird. But on the other hand, I love it because I can do what I got to do, get out really fast. I'm somebody that likes to get into a store, get what I need to get, and get out. I don't want to mess around unless it's Home Depot or Lowe's or Woodcraft or Rockler or something cool. Otherwise, I want to get in and get out. I'm not like Lisa and have to walk down every aisle, look at every single thing. It's like, oh, I don't like going to Walmart with that woman because I'm there for 45 minutes when, I got my boxers within the first 45 seconds of walking in. I'm done. Why am I still here? Oh, because Lisa. I love that woman. She's the best. Brent Russell also donated a membership. Thank you so much for that, Brent. Matthew Plowden. Did we ever establish, is it Plowden? Good evening. I have a 20-gallon standard with 4 albino cories. Been in there by themselves for a month or so. Wondering if they would breed. Well, they could. I am not a cory cat breeder. But if the conditions are right, sure, of course. We went to an aquarium club meeting at our aquarium club, which we haven't been to in a very long time. And there was a guy there that was a cory cat breeder, and he did an amazing presentation. And when I walked away from that, I was like, I could totally go home and breed cories now. The problem is, it was like 2 years ago, and I forgot every single thing he said. So sorry about that. But sure, they will breed. You kind of have to have the male-female thing worked out. If you have all males, it's not gonna happen. Science hasn't figured out a way to do that yet. Dennis gifted 5 memberships. That is exactly what he does every week. And it is a blessing. We are so thankful for that. Also, picking up your 2mm Super Red product. We have sold so much of that. You wouldn't even believe. The 3 new foods that Northfin put out. The Bug Pro sticks. The Super Mix, which was Ben Ochart's idea. Good on you, Ben. And the Super Red. We sold so much of it. It's insane. Fortunately, Northfin is good to us, and we've got a good stock of it. So we haven't run out yet, but I had to go to Walmart or Home Depot. I would take Home Depot. Oh, well, girl, good for you, because it is far superior. However, sometimes you got to go to Walmart. I just don't like going there with Lisa. If I'm going to Walmart by myself, I'm in and out, and I will do self-checkout. I'll be in and out in 3 minutes. But if Lisa's with me, it's like, oh, where'd she go? Jeez. Now I got to walk the whole store. So then, of course, I go to the toy aisle because I'm a perpetual child trying to see if they have the new Superman stuff yet. Maybe they do. I don't know. Lowe's gives a veteran discount. Yeah, they ask me every time, and every single time I say, no, I'm not a veteran, but my 2 sons are, and it doesn't work. I'll even say one of my sons is active now. They're like, sorry. It's just for the real ones, not the dads that had nothing to do with the decision. It was a decision that was made completely on their own, but still, I deserve a discount for that. I raised one since he was 5 and the other since he was 13. I knew the other before I knew Lisa. Never mind. Wow, I was just about to say the weirdest thing, and I probably would have been canceled. And it's one of those things, I just did what I tried so hard, and it never worked, to teach him, our oldest, he's 30 now, has 3 kids, is an amazing father. We're super proud of him. But I've tried to instill in him, ever since I met him for the first time, think about what you're about to say. Don't just blurt it out. I just practiced that, because if I had said, all right, I'm going to tell you what I was going to say, but I'm going to, no, I'm not. No, I can't do that. But Lisa's going to be like, what were you going to say? And I'll tell her, and she'll be like, well, you would have been right, but yeah, that would have been bad. It's nothing bad about our son. It's not. Yeah, I know. I said since he's 13, he's my stepson, but I don't call him that. I don't call any of them that. It's nothing bad about him. It's actually something very funny about him, but I can't say it because I can't do it. And it's quite possible he is in the chat right now, and he's one of the people saying, do it, say it. He would laugh his butt off if I said it, but I'm not going to do it. A super proud moment is when your kids get a job and buy you fish stuff as gifts. Oh, he's done way more than that. He's not only got a job, but he's bought a really nice house. He got a swimming pool put in at his house. He just got his basement finished and has a theater room and all of it. Like he's big time. He's doing extremely well. And he did 4 years in the Marine Corps, and that got him experience to where he got a really, really good job for a government contractor. He's doing really well. Super happy for him. Super proud of him. Especially when I can see him practicing the discipline in, all right, let me think about this before I actually say it. Anyway. Carl, you're driving me crazy over there. I'm caught up on the super chat, so that's a good thing. So we haven't talked about any particular, or I did see Leo said something about the haps again. Would I do a predator tank? Sure. I mean, haps are haps to me. I don't really make I don't get turned on by the word predator. Like, they're just all haps. I don't care. I've never gotten into like, oh, this is a predator tank. I don't know. And I'm going to be honest. I don't even know which ones are predators and which ones aren't. What would the predators be? Like the living stone eye? Probably the champ. Like the ones that are aggressive? Are those the predators? Christie eyes, which would be the Malawi hawks. I don't know. I don't know which ones are predators, and I don't particularly care. Only the Geophagus get 12 inches. All others get around 6 inches. All right, well, there you go. Matthew Plowden again. It's like plow the field. Okay, Plowden. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not sure about gender. They're in a planted tank with rocks and driftwood. They seem really content just going around up to the floating Slovenia. You know what? They might be popping out eggs and they're getting eaten by the other cories, or they're just not there yet. I would love to say, oh, do this thing and they'll start breeding right away. I don't think there's a special trick to it. I think it is, clean water, good food, North Fin community. That's really all you need. What would be a difference between predator and monster tank? Well, when people say, what Leo was talking about there was predator haps, not just predator tanks. All carnivores are predators. That's why I don't get it. Like, I don't get the predator hap tank. I think that's just a novelty name. That's the difference. I mean, a monster tank would be usually South Central American cichlids, and then your oddballs like your big giant arapaimas and arowanas and red-tailed cats and things like that. But the predator haps, there we go. And now Leo posts every scientific name in the world. And again, Leo, you know I love you. You know I respect you. I could care less. I hope you copied and pasted all of those because I really don't care which ones are predators and which ones are not. I'm going to mix whatever haps I want in that tank, and I'm not going to care what anybody says about it. What are they going to be? Well, I'll tell you what I've got already. I've got an albino Taiwan reef. I've got a red empress, two venustus. I think it might even be a male and female. I've got a regular Taiwan reef that's a little smaller, but holding his own. I've got a friar eye, one of them, and then two Mori eyes. And a living stone eye. So all of those are going to go in there. I don't know which one of those. I saw Nimbochromis on Leo's list there. So, okay, I'm going to have predators in there, but I'm also going to add probably a buco nodo, whatever you want to call them. I'm definitely going to add a polystigma, which is another Nimbochromis. I'm going to add the trout. So if some are predators and others aren't, I don't care. I also have a redfin borlei. I don't care. They're all going together. And they're all going to be fine. Ted-tail cats, my dream fish. The T is right next to the R, so it's funny. I know exactly what you meant there. But you really, Leslie, you know this. Because hopefully everybody knows this. You really got to have your setup right if you're going to have red tails. That's probably why you don't have one, Leslie. They are the epitome of monster fish. when you have a monster fish conversation with somebody, red-tailed catfish is going to come up in every single one of those conversations. Because they're just like, they're the poster child of monster fish, and they get way bigger than people think. So dreamfish, I can honestly say this, Leslie, unless you really did mean to type in Ted tail, like it's, a teddy bear kind of catfish, like the movie. I've never heard someone say that's their dreamfish before. So that's interesting. I'm pretty sure you are a customer of ours. I could look it up. I don't want you to say it in the chat because there's weird people out there. I'm not saying there's anybody weird in here with us right now, but there's weird people out there. So I don't want to say where you are. But if you're in the right area, you could put them in a pond and keep them in there year round. Vincent, my first order on Northfin Community Flakes just arrived. Nice. Something that is not even up for debate. There is not a fish food manufacturer out there that has flakes that are as big as Northfin's flakes are. Does it really make a difference? No, because you're probably going to break them up anyway. But it's neat when you open up the can and the flakes are just gigantic. It's wild. It's like, oh, wow, look at that. They're really big. That's what she said. If I win the lottery, I'll put a pool in a bedroom. Well, hey, we can all dream, can't we? I'll tell you how good Lisa feels right now. She buried the bottom half of a stock tank this week, and she's going to put guppies outside because, we got a problem with guppies, and it's going to be really cool. She's putting plants around it right now so that it doesn't look like a stock tank in the ground. It's going to be really neat. What size tank for 80 African peacocks and haps, plus a couple of dolphin cichlids and clown loaches and plecos? Dolphin cichlids are also haps, just so you know. Not trying to be a jerk, but I think you need at least a 240. That's not, no, I think you need something like this for 80 fish. That's a lot. I can hear you right now. You're already saying, but John, you're such a hypocrite. You've got like probably close to 70 yellow labs in your, yeah, but those are yellow labs. They only get this big. They stay small. They're one of the smaller African cichlids. You're talking about peacocks and haps. Good grief. I can't get my guppies to breed. Well, you must not know how to turn on a faucet and fill up a glass box full of water. No, I'm being silly there because some people do struggle with them. It's wild. I mean, Lisa and I can't stop ours from reproducing like just the devil. But other people are like, I can't keep guppies alive to save my life. It's weird. I don't know what it is about our water here, but it really, really does well. Do you have only have males? I think now I do. No. No. I don't even know why I said that. I think I have a female venustus. I think I have a male and a female. All of the peacocks, there's a couple of females in there. And, perfect world, they wouldn't be, but I'm not going to exterminate them. I'm not that person. Oh, wait a minute. I'm assuming QC you were asking about the peacocks and haps, because why would you ask that about guppies? Are they all male guppies? Here we go again. What's happening here? If they're all male guppies, they wouldn't be breeding. I know it's 2025 and all, but, you know, males can't reproduce on their own. I'm just saying. Yep, I'm a customer. I'm wearing a Cage Tropical shirt right now. Well, I'm not going to look up where you live while we're here, but I'll remember this next time I see an order from you, and I'll be like, oh, she lives down there. Maybe she could put in. I feel like I'm going to be like, oh yeah, because I know you've ordered a bunch of times. But I just, you know, we just had, and this is a pretty big milestone. Like 3 or 4 days ago, we got our 30,000th order on our website. In fact, let's do something here, shall we? I would like to, what are the odds that this could be a thing? But I'd like to see if I could shout that person out. We're up to 30,093 now, so I got to go a little farther back. It is Joanne Ethier? Ethier? Joanne, if you are here right now, I'd like to say thank you. You were our 30,000th order. And that's very, very cool. But it's possible. Let's see. Joanne has ordered from us 10 times. So if you want to be technical, you are our 2,990th all the way to 30,000. But no, that's a big milestone. I remember when we got to 1,000. I remember when we got to 10,000. 30,000 is a pretty big deal. And I'm pretty sure like the majority of those all came in when we moved down here. So yeah, thank you all so much for that. Anyone who has ever ordered, I don't care if it's ordering one thing or 15, 20 things, it's very much appreciated. If I'm being honest with you right now, the way YouTube's going, if we didn't have that website, we'd be in big trouble right now. So Lisa would probably like some of their songs. Oh boy, what are we talking about here? Imagine Evanescence, but harder and more technical. I can tell you, I don't know who that is, but Lisa probably wouldn't like it. Spirit Box. No, I have not checked them out yet. Lisa is weird when it comes to music. She hurt my feelings the other day, and I'm not afraid to say it. And it's just an example of her being weird when it comes to music. There is a video on YouTube that is, yes, you are. Don't you argue with me, lady. Listen, Lisa is a massive fan of Tom Petty, and so am I. We are 70s kids, and Tom Petty was a god back then. I love Tom Petty, always have. But John Mayer did a version of Free Fallin' live, and there's a video of it on YouTube, and it is so far superior to Tom Petty's version of that. Just like Smashing Pumpkins' version of Landslide is better than Fleetwood Mac's. These are just facts. I'm not going to do a whole spiel on music, but I sent that video to her. And the John Mayer video is from like 10 years ago. I sent it to her and she wouldn't watch it. She said, I don't like John Mayer. I can't watch it. It hurt my feelings because I was like, but it's a really good song. I mean, it's a great song. And Dixie Chicks. Oh, get out of here, you. How dare you? Have to mute you in 20 minutes to find out who my trash New York Giants pick. You know what's funny is last year, exactly 1 year ago today, if you go back and watch the live stream that we did draft night last year, I remember distinctly looking at it going, oh, we drafted Jaden Daniels. All right. Okay. Boy, did I not know what we were getting into. I love John Mayer, but Tom Petty original version is way better. No, you're wrong, Emma. You're wrong about that. It's a completely different song that John Mayer does. And I absolutely love it. It's just amazing. I'm a John Mayer fan, and I'll say it to your face with no embarrassment whatsoever. I've always been a massive fan of that guy. I think his voice is... Listen, don't talk to me about I don't like John Mayer's voice if you like Tom Petty's voice. Come on. I don't like John Mayer's voice, but I love Coldplay. I love Maroon 5. I love Tom Petty. Okay, so you like people that have weird voices. Coldplay, Chris Martin's voice isn't all that weird, but I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm not going to go on a whole tangent about music. The Tom Petty version of Free Fallin' is amazing. It is one of the best songs that's ever been made. But I'm just telling you, this version from John Mayer is better. I'm just saying. I'll never say a redo is better than the original. Oh, here we go. I'm in trouble. She's in the room now. You're not coming in? Oh, she's filling up that tank. I was just telling you that that stock tank that she buried in the ground she's filling that up as we speak. Chris Martin always sounds like he has a sinus infection. Well, okay. But so does, Maroon 5. There's a lot of people. Bob Dylan. There's a lot of people throughout history that have that weird nasally sound. John Mayer has that a little bit. But anyway. Metallica is my number one band. Well, you're a smart person. What can I say? I'm a Metallica fan, always have been. American Girl, best song by far made by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It's not even close. There's nothing that can compare to that. Bob Dylan and Keith Sweat sound like mosquitoes singing? Well, Keith Sweat... okay. I mean, I wish I could start a music podcast or a music live stream because I could do this all night long, but people get so mad at me when I do it. Well, they don't get mad at me, but people check out and it is what it is. But I'll say this. I don't get it when it comes to Bob Dylan. I never have. I never got it. I don't get it. Keith Sweat is an icon. I agree. That's why I was like, that's kind of a curveball, isn't it? Like, really, Keith Sweat? I never got Bob Dylan either. Well, thank you, Mal Reaver. Thank you. I mean, I don't understand it. But I'm going to tell you this, though. I do want to watch that movie with, what's that kid's name? Timothy Chalamet? I want to see that. I like music. I always call them biopics. I don't understand those weirdos that call it biopics. I always call them biopics. I always love those. Except Rocket Man. That was terrible. I'm sorry. It was really dumb. And I think it was a complete waste of time for a great story that I'm not trying to take away from the Edenton kid that played Elton. I think he did a good job there, but I just thought that movie was dumb. What's the smallest tank I could keep a biker in? 55. If it's a Senegal, because they get half the size of that guy right there and way skinnier. But if you want a big one like this, you got to eat a lot of calories. I'm kidding. These guys, the thing with bikers, Bichirs, call them whatever you want to call them. So many of them, with the exception of the ornate. This is my ornate right here. His name's Draco. He's at a weird angle right now. He is substantially larger than my other two. Ornates grow fast. Where did he go? And Lecari, which is this guy here, and the Lepradi, which is this guy here, they're super slow growers. So you are one of those, it is one of those scenarios where if you buy one and you start taking good care of it, and you're like, well, I only have a 75 now, but I plan on upgrading to an 8-foot tank down the road. These are one of those fish that I would tell you could get away with that. The ornate, look at the size of that bad boy right there. Not so much, because they grow really fast, and obviously, look at him, quite robust. Northfin carnivore, by the way, is what is their primary diet. Northfin carnivore is what's responsible for that fish's growth. I'm not doing a sales pitch. I'm just telling you the truth. The bag is right there. I'm not doing an advertisement. It's there because that's what those fish get fed every single night. Tropical sticks for the Oscars. Sometimes, but you take good care of them. Ornates are going to grow fast. The others, not so much. But again, perfect world, you're going to have them in an 8-foot tank. Nobody has perfect world scenario. Well, I do, I guess, if you're going for 8-foot tanks. But Rocket Man was dumb from a big Elton fan. Me too. I'm a big fan too. I've been a fan of Elton John for as long as I can remember memories. And I thought that movie was such a horrible waste of time. Heard of the Grateful Dead? No. Is that a new band? Did they just come out? Maybe recently? Are they on Spotify? Or, of course, I've heard of Grateful Dead, you silly goose. I like a few of their songs. What do you think about Chris's? What's that? Chris's. I don't know what that is. I've learned so much with you. You have boosted my confidence and awareness on my beta's needs. Wow. From Peru. Well, thank you. Mar. Very, very cool. I'm glad that we were able to help. That's why we do it. Have your Oscars ever pooped solid black poo? Don't tell Cletus the Oscar I asked that. He's embarrassed. No, mine have not. But if we feed them only this, they'll poop orange. Their poops are, poop colored, brown, because we feed them Northfin carnivore. Northfin carnivore. Listen, I'm going to tell you something that is the truth right now. Okay. It's the truth. I might run into Chris Cleavers next week. That's the CEO of Hikari. He might be at this event that I'm going to next week. I don't know. I don't know if he's the CEO, but he's like whatever their head guy is. I've met him a couple of times. Good guy. I would say this to his face. Northfin Carnivore is a far superior product to Hikari Massivore. And it's for one reason. Hikari Massivore is a food I used for years. And it's great. It's great. I'm a fan of Hikari foods. And I'm not embarrassed to say it. But Massivore, I don't know if they changed their formula a while back. I don't know. Chris Christopherson. Okay. I don't know anything about him as far as being a singer. Massivore stinks so bad. When you put that in your tank, it reeks. We stopped carrying it on our website because I was like, I can't do this to people. I can't stink up people's houses like this. It's like, it's horrible. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. The food's great. Fish love it. They tear it up and they grow really well on it. But it reeks. And we were feeding Massivore several years ago. Or I bought a bag of it when I got these bikers. I bought a bag of Massivore and I fed it and I was like, what is that? Why does it smell like farts out here? Like, what's the problem? This is nasty. And then I figured out that it was the bag of food. And I was like, well, maybe I got a bad bag. I got another one, same thing. Got another one, same thing. So I was like, forget it. Nope, can't do it. Carnivore from Northfin, no chance of that at all. I've never experienced any odors from this tank at all, ever. And we've been faithfully feeding Carnivore for a while now, like 3 years. Somebody said my grandfather liked the Grateful Dead. Yeah, that's an old one there. Godsmack. I was listening to Godsmack today when I was cutting the grass. I did I Prevail for a while, and then I did Godsmack. Very different bands, but I got an eclectic taste in music. What do I gotta say? John Mayer is great with Dead and Company. John Mayer's great with everything he does, and I'll say it to your face. I hate biopics or biopics, depending on what kind of person you are. They always change the facts for dramatic storytelling purposes. I'd rather watch a boring documentary about someone that actually gets the facts right. Yeah, but I don't watch most of them thinking they're going to be an exact depiction of that person's life, particularly when you're talking about somebody like Elton John that has been an entertainer for 50 years. You're going to put that in a 2-hour movie? It's not going to work. So they got to do it pretty quick. I believe the best biopic that was done about a musician or a band ever is Bohemian Rhapsody. That movie was incredible. The last 10 minutes of that movie is the best I've ever seen of a music biopic done. You watch that side by side with the real Live Aid footage, unbelievable. So yeah, I just got chills. It's so good. That last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of that movie is so good. And Robbie Malek did an amazing job on that movie. Take a shot every time John says Northfin Carnivore. You'll be drunk fast. No doubt Corey can't replace him. What does that mean? Corey Bray. He was fantastic with okay. I see what you're saying. I'm like, what are we talking about, Corey? What's happening here? I changed his frozen shrimp supply. I think he had a hard time with it. Thanks for answering. I feed Cletus the same krill as you. Yeah, that can happen. I mean, the food can definitely dictate the color of your fish's poop. We're going with brutal honesty here today, right? I've been brutally honest about some brands. I think there is a brand of fish food out there that makes really good food, but I have a problem with it. And that's NLS. I don't have a problem with the company. I don't think their food is bad, but my experience with feeding, particularly their cichlid food, is it always turned my tanks red. And I'm not a fan of that. So maybe it's because I just didn't maintain the tanks enough. I don't know. But, my tank doesn't turn orange when I feed this. My tank's not brown right now. Feeding Northfin carnivore. And listen, y'all want brutal honesty? When I did the video about putting in this aqua decor background, that was 2 weeks ago. That was the last time I did a water change in this tank. Now, it was 100% water change. So there's that. But I did 100% water change. I was going to clean out my filters that day too, but I didn't. I've got 3 filters on there, 2 CJ Whale 500s and the seamless sump, which you can now see behind me. Well, the whale boxes are blocking it now. I got whales, CJ whales for the 240s too, that I just haven't installed yet. But the reason why I bring that up, look how clear that water is. These fish get fed once a day. They get fed a lot. Excuse me, good grief, because they're big fish. Water doesn't look brown to me, does it? Does it look brown to you? Nope. So I'm just saying, you want a food, get ready to take a shot, Emma Rose. You want a food that's not going to foul up your water. Northfin carnivore. Or any Northfin product for that matter. I was going to say Bohemian Rhapsody. You read my mind. That's a great one. I mean, that movie is great specifically for the last 10 minutes. I mean, the rest of it's good too. But that Live Aid recreation that they did is unbelievable. So good. Even the mannerisms and the facial expressions and the Robbie Malek really took that seriously, and I'd like to congratulate him on that. It was fantastic. The catfish bait is beyond stinky. Get it on your hands, and it's like beyond rank. The catfish bait, yeah, I mean, see, that's why I don't fish. I don't have anything against fishing. I just my son comes home from the Navy. And he's always like, I'm going to go down to the pier and go fishing. You want to go? I'm like, no thanks. Love to get that personal time, that bonding time. But we have our bonding time on Fortnite, so it's fine. And he's at Norfolk, and I'm here, and we play Fortnite, and it's fun. And that's that way with my son-in-law, my 2 sons, my nephew. We all play Fortnite. The only thing that sucks is they're the only people I play that game with. So if none of them are on and I want to play, I don't have anybody to play with. And it makes me sad. Michelle Prang, I hope I say your name right. Do a pea puffers tank? I love mine. I love pea puffers too. I don't have any intention of doing a tank like that. That would be more of a Lisa thing. So talk to her about that. Maybe she would. Julie's Jewel Art got 2 ram's horn snails from you and Lisa, and now I have a gazillion of them. Welcome to the world of ram's horn snails. They are prolific reproducers, and you kind of have to know that going in. Otherwise, you're going to be in for a big surprise. Leslie Perry. And by the way, thank you, Jules. That was a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Julie's Jewel Art. That was very nice of you. Thank you. Leslie Perry said, oh no, I just did a cleaning on my pond and it's reading 0 nitrates. It was over 80 when I started. I didn't hurt any beneficial bacteria. I was careful. What happened? Just rinsed in well water. Did you, So here's the thing. Ponds are weird. Ponds are a different deal than aquariums. I should do an update on my pond because Lisa has done some amazing things with the landscape around it. It just keeps getting farther and farther and farther away from the pond. It's just getting bigger and bigger. I can tell you this, Leslie, and you didn't say you did a water change. You just said a cleaning. I've never done a water change on my pond because I just haven't. I've never done one. You want to know what else I've never done? You're going to probably ridicule me for this. I've never tested the water. Why should I? The water's clear. The fish are super healthy. We bought two. This is one of the great things about ponds. We got a bunch of goldfish in there, and we got the 3 koi that are monsters. I mean, they're all like 2 feet or larger, huge. The one that we have, the all red one, his name's Greg. I named him after Greg Whitstock. He's the most incredible fish I've ever owned in my life. I mean, everybody that sees that fish says, whoa, like it's like seeing a super red arowana or something. And I don't think he's any like super expensive, super rare koi or anything. He's just awesome is what he is. The fish are all super healthy. They're growing super fast, including the 2 new koi that we bought last year. It was about a year ago. They've tripled in size since we bought them. So the goldfish, there's a couple of real fat ones in there. You know what that means. The goldfish are doing well. The koi are doing well. The water's clear. We're dealing with a little bit of algae right now, but welcome to spring. I don't have any need to test it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or not. I'm one of those people. I'm not going to. But anyway, who cares about what I would do? If your pond is reading 0 nitrates, that is weird because it should be up there. But you probably clean too much. I do know that that ponds, just like aquariums, they have beneficial bacteria. They have a cycle just like anything else. I do know that beneficial bacteria, the beneficial bacteria products that are available, they're miracle workers. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, and it's weird because last year I was having pea soup. Every single pond person that's ever had a pond has gone through it. It's pea soup. It is all of a sudden the pond turns green, lime green, and it looks like the vomit from The Exorcist. It's a nightmare. It's horrible. Talked to Greg Whitstock about, no, it wasn't. It was Micah Miller, the guy that put the pond in. And I said, dude, I don't know what to do. And he's like, oh, just put the bacteria in. Put the beneficial bacteria in. Get the aquascape type, put it in. It'll blow your mind. I bought it. Didn't have anybody send it to me for free. I went to Aquascape's website. I ordered the can of beneficial bacteria that's like that tall. And I put it in there, and I swear to you, lightning strike me if I'm lying. A week later, the water was absolutely clear. I put a scoop in. It comes with a little scooper. I put a scoop in every day because it just works out that's how much I need. 1 scoop is for 1,500 gallons, so it's perfect. Within a week, I'm telling you, the water was absolutely perfect. So that stuff it works miracles. So Leslie, maybe that's what you need. Work miracles for me. I love this group of people with all the crazy things going on in the world. We unite over the love of fish keeping. Isn't that the truth? LBC. I mean, listen, Nothing has been more true than that. When it comes to politics and all that kind of stuff, I don't care what side people are on. It's crazy for everybody right now. And it's nice to not, to get away from that for a little bit. I cycle my fish tanks with pond water, add fish same day, no issues. Oh, well, there you go. Are y'all going to be at Aquashella Dallas next month? No. As a matter of fact, I got a text from George Mavrakis 2 days ago asking, and I was like, sorry, we can't. It's not something we're going to be able to work out. I'm not going to say no to any of them, and that's exactly what I told him. I was like, I can't tell you we're not going to be to any Aquashellas this year, but I know we're not going to be at Dallas because we just weren't able to work it out. But, one of the challenges is it's just Lisa and I. We have a business to run. We have a million animals. It's hard for us to work it out. We're not at that place yet. It's close. And it might be happening. It's probably going to happen in 2025. We're going to start staffing pretty quick because we have to. I mean, like, I was thinking about it today. You hear people all the time, and I'm not complaining because I'm a very lucky guy, but you hear self-employed say, well, when you're self-employed, you're never off. I thought about this for a second today while I was cutting the grass. I think about a lot of things while I was cutting the grass. I said, you know what? I haven't been off work for 1 second in the last 5 years. It's just the truth. Because even if I'm playing Fortnite with my 6-year-old grandson, play Fortnite with him too. I'm sitting there, my email is open right in front of me on my computer, and I hear that cha-ching, which is great. That means we get an order. It's just, it never stops. I can't escape it. I choose to be that way. I could completely disconnect, but one of the issues with being self-employed is if you disconnect, then you're afraid you're going to miss something. That's when that email is going to come through. That's when there's going to be that problem. That's when that thing's going to happen. And I don't know. It's hard. So that's one of the main things, staffing so that we can have a lot of the tasks that we do now every day, have others do that. And then we can focus on other things like growing the business and all of that. You need a break, my dude. It's true, but at the same time, this is why I'm saying I don't want it to come across as if I'm complaining, because I do work for myself. I haven't woken up with an alarm clock in 20 years. I haven't been doing this for 20 years, but tomorrow, if I want to sleep till 9 o'clock in the morning, I can do it. If I don't want to go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning tonight, I can do that too. I'm very fortunate for that. But the other side of that is I'm also never off. So it's tough, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I sincerely would not. I miss seeing everyone at Aquashella. I had the privilege to hang out with the Fish Tube group since I had my old channel. I had a blast. All right, y'all want to get real? Y'all want to piss off all the YouTubers? Audrey, if you went back this year, you'd be disappointed. It's not Aquashella's fault. Because fish tubers don't hang out anymore. They just don't. It's one of the reasons why we don't make it a priority to go. I mean, we go to these things to meet all of y'all, and then after hours, hang out with all of our YouTube friends. YouTube friends don't exist anymore because, one, they either want something from us, or two, they've just, Nobody talks to each other anymore. It's not just me. Nobody talks to each other anymore. And so, if you go to an Aquashella and your hope is you're going to see all the YouTubers, it's not going to happen because nobody goes anymore. YouTubers don't go anymore. And I'm not just talking about the big channels. The last Aquashella I went to, and again, this is not Aquashella's fault. Well, some of it kind of is, but I'm not trying to crap on Aquashella here. The last Aquashella I went to was in Daytona, and it was basically me, Jason, Joanna, and Lisa hanging out in the YouTube booth, and that was it. There were a few other YouTubers there, but they were all off. So it was like, man, this is so different than it used to be. I remember, like Audrey's talking about Dallas in 2018. I wasn't at that one. It's the only Aquashella I didn't go to. And that wasn't for any reason other than I just didn't go. We couldn't do it. But I went to the one in Chicago in maybe I don't know. The first one I went to was Chicago in 2019. And you walked in there and you had all the people, which was, again, it was amazing. But then when you got to the YouTube booth, everybody was there. Joey, Corey, Aquapros, Serpa, some other guy, I never knew his name and he was a real jerk and I'm glad he never came back. Ohio Fish Rescue, Primetime Aquatics, Zenzo, Fish Nerd, I'm trying here, Simply Beta, Girl Talks Fish, who was a gamer's wife then. Jeff Rose was there. I mean, everybody was there. Peck Tech, King of DIY, Dustin's Fish Tanks, Flip Aquatics, everybody was there. Now you go and it's like, where is everybody? And it's sad because I used to really, 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 really look forward to that. It's just Lisa and I down here. Our kids live in Virginia. One of them lives in North Carolina, but 5 hours on the other side of North Carolina. It's just her and I down here. And so we would look forward to going to those things to see our work friends and creative pet keeping. Did I not say that? That was one that I was thinking of. Kasha hasn't even been doing any videos for a while. But the point I'm trying to make is everybody was at these events and you slowly through the years, 2020 was a wash, of course. 2021, Orlando, same thing. Everybody was there. And then each show, it progressively was less and less and less to the point where it wasn't just the last one. It was like the last 3 Aquashellas that I went to. It was me and Jason, Joanna, and Lisa hanging out in the booth, and that's it. And I don't mean that as any disrespect to any other YouTubers that might have stopped by. I'm just saying nobody else was there. And it was very, very depressing. I adore Jason. Jason's one of the few people on this planet that could call me right now and say, John, I'm in trouble. I need you in Chicago. And I'd be on a plane even though I hate flying. Particularly hate flying to Chicago because that's where the nightmare happened for me last time I flew. He's one of the few people that I would do that for. So when I say all of this, I'm not saying all I got to do was hang out with Jason. That was wonderful. But it was nice to see everybody. And they ain't around anymore. The only one I've been to was Chicago last year. It was cool, but I suppose I expected it to be more. It was great to have met Jason and Joanna. But yeah, see, and that is why Jason and Joanna got their own booth last year. Because it was like, why do the creator booth? Nobody does it anymore. Nobody goes there anymore. And a lot of it does, and this is where I have to be a little critical of Aquashella. A lot of it does have to do with Aquashella not really having anything to offer creators. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about everybody. That might be changing now. You know, I mean, Aquashella has just gone through a complete change, you know, ownership change. Everything's new. So it probably will be different now. But back in 2019, 2021, like they made it a point to really reward creators of all sizes for going to those shows. And what it did was it got everybody in the community excited. And that's gone, or it was. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be back, but the excitement got taken away. And then you had, you know, like Aquarium Co-op doesn't go because it's a lot. Like I was saying, he's got a business to run. It's a whole thing for him to go to an event like that, just like it is for Lisa and I. Joey doesn't go anymore. Joey had to travel internationally to go to that. There's so many creators that just can't swing it anymore. And it's sad because 2019 Aquashella was just the best. And it sucks because that was the one that Lisa got sick and couldn't go to. But what did I just say? It just came through right now. Remember from earlier? I was talking about Facebook. Here is your code. Don't share it. Just came through just now. Somebody trying to steal my Facebook group. Katie Tropicals, do you and Lisa have a passport? Come to Singapore. We do not have passports. I'd love to go to Asia. I would love to go to Europe. Could have gone to Europe last year with CJ. And we didn't go for the same reasons. We just couldn't swing it. We couldn't leave here for like 10 days, which is what we would have had to do to go to Europe. And I got to be honest, I really regret it. Because I saw all the pictures, Cichlid Bros and Jay Wilson and my buddy Chris that owns the distributor that I'm going to be at next week. He was there. It just looked like such an amazing time. I really, really regret that. But we were going to get our passports just for that trip. But anyway, I think once it became a fight, and sides were taken, unfortunately. Are we talking about between the ownership, Sue Ann, or are we talking about YouTubers? Because YouTubers are definitely, there are factions, groups. You're with this guy, you're with that guy. I don't like all that. I just like to be with everybody. And, but anyway, I would agree and disagree. I got to meet Primetime, Paul Cafaro, Predatory Fins, Caveman, Brett Raymer, Coralfish 12G, Garden of Eater, and a few others. However, I do agree none were hanging out with each other. Yeah. And see, that's kind of one of the things. I mean, Predatory Fins was there on his own behalf. Brett Raymer was brought there by Aquashella. Smart move. Coralfish 12G owns the thing. So, of course, he's going to be there. Garden of Eater, love those two. I mean, they're also going to be there at their own booth. Paul Cafaro probably had his own booth. Jason had his own booth. Caveman was there with Seachem. You get what I'm saying? It's not like it was. And there's no disrespect to any of those people. They did their thing. Good for them. I hope they all made a bunch of money by going there and doing that. But it used to be YouTubers going there just to be there, not representing a brand, which that's not a bad thing, but it was just everybody going there just to hang out. I insulted Joey, which led to me getting a picture of him giving me a kiss. All right. Hopefully Tamara's not here watching this. That was 2018 though. So, the click scene is so high school. Amen. Dragon Dad. I hate it. And it's even worse for me, but I won't get into it because I won't get into it. But it's worse for Lisa and I because we have a business. And anyway, I think it's vendor happy, so kind of all business. There are a lot more clubs run, hobbyist-based events where people socialize more. You're exactly right, Zen, and that's the point. That's the point I was trying to make. It wasn't that way. When you go back to 2021, yeah, I think Corey had a booth for Aquarium Co-op. That makes sense. He's big time, that completely makes sense. But like if Caveman, which I don't think he was at, maybe he was, in 2021, wouldn't have been there with Seachem. He would have been there with himself. In fact, maybe he was there. I don't know. There was, people were there to be there, not representing a brand. Like MD Fish Tanks went to a couple of them over the last couple of years. He was there with API. Not a bad thing. I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong, but when he's there representing API, he's obligated to API. So like, I don't think he ever set foot in the creator booth. And it's not because he's too big time for it. He was there representing a brand. Anyway. We need a gimmick. KG Tropical's the flamethrower. The kids will love it. Worked for Elon, didn't it? That's one of the reasons why our channel has kind of tanked. No pun intended, since we were just talking about Brett Raymer. I refuse to do the things that make YouTubers successful. And I don't mean fish keeping YouTubers. I'm talking about the big time YouTubers that, do all kinds of crazy, wild. I'm too old for that nonsense. So I will tell you this. There's a list video coming out this weekend. It's true. I had one of these days where all of a sudden, like 20 different titles for list videos came to my head. And they're not all top 10 lists. Some of them are like 8. Some of them are 16. But that's not really caving to trends and all that kind of stuff. But like, there's no way I will ever be able to do the things that some big time YouTubers do. Again, not in the fish keeping community, but other YouTubers. It's too much. I'd like a top 13 list. The fish tube booth was the biggest draw. Aquashella should have utilized that a whole lot more. Now listen, Audrey, I wish you had said that 2 years ago in one of these chats, and the owners of Aquashella saw it, because your boy was telling them this, exactly what you just said, for years. I was telling them, hey man, one of them in particular, not George, the other owner of Aquashella, who's no longer an owner of Aquashella, still a personal friend of mine, but I would tell him, hey man, listen, there's no reason for creators to come here anymore. And they've been completely abandoned. If you abandon creators, your show dies. I'm just telling you. And I know, we got to do this and we got to do that. And then the next show, it would just get worse. So it's like, well, you know what am I supposed to do here? There's nothing I can do. I didn't have any power or anything like that with it. But I tried. Are you going to bring back Rate My Tank? Excuse me. It was not your question, Zach, that made me cough like that. It was talking for 2 hours straight that made me cough like that. Yes. In fact, I was going to do some tonight. But I didn't get to it. So, yes, we are going to be doing those again. So, if you are someone that wants us, or just me, but hopefully us, to review your tanks, kgboxesofwater@gmail.com. We saw you with Jake Adams at Aquashella doing the fresh versus saltwater debate. That was awesome. And I'm not saying that because Jake passed away 12 days later. I'm saying it because it was awesome. He wiped the floor with me in that debate. But I knew he was going to, because Jake was a pro and I'm just a big dummy that gets up there. So, but that was probably the absolute highlight of Aquashellas for me. And I would have said that before Jake passed away. I told him that night. Me and Lisa were at dinner that night talking about it. And I was like, dude, you absolutely, like, you could get charged with murder for what you did to me up on that stage. And he was like, no, you did fine. And I'm like, okay, I did fine, but you absolutely just killed me up there. So yeah, I felt that way. I knew it. I was 10 minutes into that and I was like, oh, this is going to be a bloodbath. But I knew that going in. Will you be doing more videos on beta fish? I don't know. And, well, yes. Sorry. Yes, we will be. You want to know why? Because, like, 4 days before Lisa had her surgery, we got the new Fluval. Is it 6 gallon? The new Fluval beta tank. We got it. I have not opened the box. In fact, I entertained doing an unboxing of that. All these ideas I had for tonight's live stream, and I didn't do any of them, but I thought about unboxing it here with you on this live stream. Lisa has a plan for that tank. She knows what she's going to do with it. She is going to do a scape for a beta. She already has the beta. So that's coming. Absolutely. But the problem is, Wayne, we've already done all the beta videos. We've done the things you should know about betas. We've done the tank mates. We've done the food. We've done the diseases for betas. Lisa did that video. It's great. We've done beta sororities. Lisa has done a bunch of beta scapes. I've done the scape for dudes. Lisa did the scape for girls, meaning like a girly version of the tank and the manly version of the tank. There isn't a beta video that we haven't done. So it's kind of like, do we start remaking old videos? Perhaps, but I don't know. So Fins and Fury was so much fun. Best time I had in a while. That was a lot of fun. Absolutely enjoyed that. Every minute of it. Another highlight of my fish keeping professional life. Getting to sit there ringside and commentate that event was an absolute dream come true for me. I felt like Joe Rogan for a night, and to be able to share that with Jay was incredible. And I'm just going to say it. I know she's listening, and that's fine. My wife is a beautiful woman. We all know that. Everybody that sees her on this live stream with me is like, Damn, how'd he score that? That guy got her? What? It's true. I know it. I'm a lucky guy. I've never seen her look as good as she did that night. I'm just saying. Go look at the pictures that she posted on Instagram from that night, and you're going to say, whoa. She could have. We were in New York. We were right down the street from Manhattan. She could have gone and gotten a modeling contract that night. She still could. But that night, good grief, she wouldn't have made it in the door. They'd have been like, sign here, please. We got you right here. Here's your Revlon deal right here. Or whoever. I don't know. I don't know who models work for, but yeah, that was an amazing night. I have a big update on mine. Y'all reviewed my 65. Now I have a bigger tank. Well, there you go, Zach. Do it. We did so many of them. I don't recall yours. I'm sure I would if I watched it. Oh yeah, I remember that one. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. I like doing the rate my tanks. I was looking for them today. The problem is it's been a while since we've done it. And I couldn't remember the ones that we'd done and which ones we hadn't done. That's the problem. Why is my thing frozen up here? Everything's frozen. I hope I'm not frozen. I don't think I am. But I'm going to restart my chat because it ain't uploading or ain't updating. Okay, now this one's dead. Sorry, y'all, but all right, I had to do that. Yeah, oh boy, I've missed so much. I missed shows like Tanked. Tanked was awesome. I think, and I have no problem saying this, I think we need another Tanked. Because our hobby has taken a little bit of a dip. A little bit, nothing to freak out over. No, it's not the tariffs. No, it's not. It's just, this hobby goes in waves. And I think that Tanked really had a lot to do with this hobby growing as much as it did for that 10-year span. In fact, I'm just going to say it because it was a big deal. I'm friends with Brett Raymer. I have become friends with him from Aquashellas. And the third or fourth time I saw him, it was a big deal for me. It was funny. And I even told him it was funny to me. I was standing in the YouTube booth and he came in with his wife and I saw him way over there. He was way, the bald head, you can see him. Plus, everywhere Brett goes is a madhouse. And he sees me. He's probably 30 feet away from me. He sees me and makes a beeline to me. And he says, Johnny, which nobody's ever called me Johnny before. But he comes up to me and we do the whole, hey, how you doing thing? And he's like, guess what? I said, what? And he said, now, I'm not breaking any news here, folks, so don't get too excited. And if Brett was here right now, he'd probably be mad at me for saying this. But he said, I'm talking to a production company about possibly bringing the show back. And I was like, cha-ching, woohoo, here we go, nice. Super exciting. He was telling me about the details and stuff like that. And apparently it never ended up coming to fruition. And that's not unusual. There's so many shows in early production that never, the pilots and all that kind of stuff, nothing ever happens with them. I think when they were on Animal Planet was like the peak time for television. Now it would be like if he came up to me next time I saw him and said, dude, we're talking to Netflix, then it'd be like, okay, now we're on to something. But to say, we're talking to Animal Planet again, it would be like, I mean, do those places even have any money now? Because everybody's streaming. Like, I don't know. But I got really excited when he said that. It would need to be a Hulu show. Yeah. I mean, and that I would subscribe to Hulu again if they did that. But I learned a lot from Brett about how television works, and it kind of surprised me. Like, they made that show on their own. Like, Brett and Wade and the whole crew, like, they made that show and then they sold it to Animal Planet. It's not like Animal Planet, like they went to the studios at Animal Planet every day, and I'm not going to go into details because we've only got 4 minutes left, but I learned a lot. Basically, when you have a show like that, there's a production company that makes the show and then they sell it to a network like Animal Planet. And that's what happens. That's what happened with that. And then he told me the money that he made from that. And I was shocked and not shocked in a like, wow, like you won the lottery. Like I thought it would have been more. He got paid well. Anybody on TV back then did. But I thought it was going to be a lot more. It was kind of surprising. And y'all may not know this, but Greg Whitstock had a show on I think it was Animal Planet, or it might have been Discovery. And it was called Pawn Stars. And I saw that show before I ever knew Greg. So again, meeting Greg and Ed was a big deal for me because I was like, I think the show only had, it definitely only had one season. And then Greg actually made the decision not to do it anymore. But yeah, if you don't know, they had a show called Pawn Stars. Somebody says Pawn Stars. Yeah, it was a play obviously on that. It was a great show, but it was basically what you can see on Greg's channel now. They did that before they had the Aquascape show. And it was great. I loved it. And last time I saw Greg, I think I said, you should really put those on YouTube because he owns them, but I don't know if he's ever done that, but the show was exactly what you see on his channel. So you're not really missing a whole lot, but yeah, that was cool. And when I met, Ed Ballou the first time, he knew who I was, and it was a big deal to me because I was like, dude, I watched you on TV. I sat in my living room 5 years ago and watched you on TV. And now you're like, you're that guy on YouTube. Like, what is this world? Crazy. But that is, listen, all due respect to the gentleman that came out here and built my pond. They did an absolutely incredible job. I love what they did. It was incredible. I would have them back here in a heartbeat. If I was going to get another pond built, the guys at Easton Outdoors are absolutely first class. Loved them. But my dream is to have Ed Ballou come and build me a pond. It is. That's a dream of mine. Because I don't think there is a bigger genius than Ed when it comes to pond design. And we got over 4 acres here. So Ed, you just let me know. If you want to build, if you're just bored and you want to build a pond in North Carolina, come on. Team Aquascape. Yep. The Aquascape channel is great. And that is the show that they had. It's the same thing. except it was on TV, and it was done 5-6 years before before they had a YouTube channel. So anyway, folks, I just got the text from Jason. They are in fact live now. So I am going to give my voice a break here and say goodbye to y'all. It's been a lot of fun. I really, really hope this is my last solo stream. If I stream next week, hopefully it'll be here. Lisa will be with me, or I will be at the show that I'm going to on Thursday, and hopefully have a bunch of industry people on to talk with you about cool stuff. It'll be a lot of fun. CJ just announced something today that's a really big deal for all of you people that own contactless heaters. So I'm sure if I stream next week from there, I'm sure Jay or Steve are going to talk about that. But anyway, I don't know whether it's going to be there or here yet, but either way, I should be streaming next week, but we'll have to see. Hopefully Lisa will be back if I am here. But anyway, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for hanging out, and go hang out with Jason and Joanna now. They're a lot better streamers than I am, so you'll have a lot more fun over there. Thank you all so much, and I will see you, I don't know, someday. Bye.